Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into my 2022 NFL official preseason predictions, video number one, week number one. Guys, I'm going to do this series where every single video I will project every game in a week. So we will start with week one and we will go all the way through the end of the playoffs. This video is going to be just me picking every game in week one. The next video will be week two and so on, and the standings will update. This is a site I'm using. It's called Playoff Predictors, and you guys can see the overall standings. Everyone has a completely clean slate record, and we're just going to be doing this week to week and just for entertainment. I mean, you know, it's considering it is June. A lot of speculation. It's just for fun, just to see how these teams end up. So week number one, episode number one of my official 2022 preseason predictions. We're going to start, and I got to be honest, I don't like the way they do this. They have AFC on one side, AFC versus NFC in the middle, and then NFC on their side. Why not just separate it by who plays first? Like the 1 o'clock games, then the 4 o'clock games, and the 8 o'clock. I don't like how they separate this, but it's whatever. So we're going to start by picking the AFC games in week one. So we have Indianapolis traveling to Houston. Matt Ryan's debut should be very simple and very easy. You're facing Davis Mills. You're facing a tanking Houston Texans football team. We're expecting Indianapolis with Jonathan Taylor with a very solid defense and a great offensive line to be about 7-point favorites, and I'm not going to predict any upset. I have Indianapolis improving to 1-0 on the year. They're going to beat Houston. Houston's going to be tanking. They're going for a quarterback next year, either CJ Stroud or Bryce Young. Next, we've got Pittsburgh at Baltimore, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati, a nice AFC North matchup. This is Joe Burrow coming off that Super Bowl loss. You know, new and improved offensive line. Jamar Chase back for a second year. Great stable of receivers. You've still got Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins, and you've got a solid defense. Pittsburgh, who's starting week one? Is it Mitchell Trubisky? Is it the rookie Kenny Pickett? Something tells me Kenny Pickett will be starting week one. That's just my gut feeling, but I do think Cincinnati picks up the win in week one. Pittsburgh does have a good defense, but Cincinnati will be at home, and they will be facing not a great quarterback, whether it is Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett. Next, we've got Baltimore at the New York Jets. This is Garrett Wilson's debut, and what a major season it is for the New York Jets. Is Zach Wilson a future franchise quarterback? This season should answer some questions. As for the Baltimore Ravens, is Lamar going to be there? They need to work out a new contract. There's been reports he might not show up to the preseason if he doesn't have a new deal. I think the new deal gets done. This Baltimore team, they're impressive. They should come back healthy. They were so injured last year. J.K. Dobbins is back. Hopefully Lamar plays a full, 16, 17 game season, and I have Baltimore picking up the win on the road. Little zesty matchup there, but I think Baltimore gets it done. Next, we've got New England traveling to Miami. Both of these teams very evenly matched. Mac Jones, how much of an improvement can he make in year two? Bill Belichick always has a great defense. And then for the Miami Dolphins, you've got Tyreek Hill, you've got Mike Gesicki. This is the year Tua really needs to break out. I am betting on Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots to get a road win week one. Would be a very rare win for Bill Belichick in Miami. He traditionally really struggles to win in Miami. It's going to be very close, pick-em type game. I've got New England and Mac Jones getting the win there. Next, we've got the Raiders traveling to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. That game will be in LA. Justin Herbert, this Chargers team, they're loaded. The one main question mark is the injury concern. You've got two elite pass rushers, Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa. They have issues staying on the field. And then on the offensive side of the ball, you re-sign Mike Williams. You've got Keenan Allen. I think the Chargers don't dig themselves an early hole this year. They get the win to improve to 1-0. And you take a look at the Raiders. They get Devontae Adams, Derek Carr. How much does that improve his game? Personally, I'm not high on Josh Jacobs. I don't think he's that good. But overall, this Raiders offense should be improved. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. That's a nice amount of weapons, so we'll see what Derek Carr can do. Moving on to the AFC versus NFC matchups, the massive opening game, Thursday night game. It is Buffalo at the LA Rams, and I do think Buffalo spoils the Rams. Ring ceremony, the whole bit, whatever. Buffalo this year is going to be unbelievable. They've improved on defense. Josh Allen entering the absolute prime of his career with elite pass catchers. Isaiah McKenzie, we're expecting him to step up. You still have Stephon Diggs. I would have loved to seen them draft Breece Hall, but the Bills are going to get the win over the Rams in a close, higher scoring game, maybe like 31-27 or something like that. And Matt Stafford, the home team, they get their rings, but they get it spoiled on opening night. Next, we've got Trevor Lawrence making his sophomore year debut, traveling to Washington to take on the Commanders and Carson Wentz. I am going with the Commanders to win this football game at home. Chase Young, it's his year to break out. He had a rough start last year, then got injured. He needs to have a 15-sack season and be a, all-pro, no doubt about that. And then the offense, Terry McLaurin, do you get a new deal done for him? You've got Antonio Gibson. You've got a first-round receiver as well. We will see how improved this Commanders offense is. Personally, I am not high on Carson Wentz. I think he's an average quarterback. But you're at home against the Jacksonville team that still is very young. I think Jacksonville, they made the unfortunate selection. Trayvon Walker first overall. It was a horrible pick. It is what it is, but I've got Washington winning to start their season off 1-0. Kind of an easy home game against Jacksonville. Next, we've got the Cleveland Browns at Carolina. So this is a fun one to predict in June. We're waiting for Deshaun Watson's suspension, but this is a game Deshaun Watson will not be playing. I mean, even if he gets suspended 6 games, he's going to be out week 1 pretty much no matter what. So I'm guessing it's going to be Jacoby Brissett and the Cleveland Browns. Remember, the Browns made one of the best picks in the entire draft, getting their hands on David Bell in the 3rd round, and they also have Amari Cooper. They've got a great young running back tandem. I guess Kareem Hunt's really not young anymore, but Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and a very solid defense. You're signing Jadeveon Clowney to go opposite Myles Garrett. You've got a really good young superstar shutdown quarterback in Denzel Ward. And then Carolina, who's your quarterback? Are you seriously rolling with Sam Darnold? I think the Browns, even without Deshaun Watson, get the win on the road against the Carolina team that just has no QB. Christian McCaffrey should be healthy. It'll be interesting, and DJ Moore's really good, but I got the Browns winning that game. Next, we've got a really fun one. It's going to be the Chiefs at the Arizona Cardinals, and I have Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs winning a road game. It's going to be Mahomes versus Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, the whole contract situation, I wonder if they get that worked out by week 1. I would imagine probably not, considering Kyler Murray still has 2 years left on his rookie contract. Arizona's not going to want to extend him. This game, DeAndre Hopkins will be missing. He has a 6-game PED suspension. The Chiefs' offense will be interesting without Tyreek Hill. It'll be a new look. And I think they make a statement week 1 and get a big win. Mahomes 3 touchdowns in week 1. Next, we've got the New York Giants at the Tennessee Titans. I'll give the Titans the win here. The Giants, it's a tough road game. Daniel Jones, they're still rolling with him. It seems like a wasted season, but it'll be interesting. The Giants, investing in both the offensive and the defensive lines with Thibodeau, with Evan Neal, the elite offensive tackle from Alabama. Saquon Barkley, is he finally healthy? Can he break out? They invested a number 2 overall pick on him. But overall, Tennessee, they're just the better team, even without A.J. Brown. They've got a stable of guys. They've got Derrick Henry, and we'll have to see how Treylon Burks works out. Personally, I think Treylon Burks is going to be a bust, but I will take Tennessee there. And then we've got the sweet Monday night matchup. Russell Wilson already returning to Seattle in his first game not playing for Seattle. He's back in Seattle. Kind of a weird thing there. It is the Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks, and I am going with Denver here. Denver, just the significantly more talented team. Seattle going through kind of a roster influx. We don't really know what they're doing. Will they be starting Drew Lock week 1? Yikes. We don't know their quarterback, so I will take Russell Wilson to win his Broncos debut in his quick return to Seattle. The NFC games, we've got San Francisco at Chicago. So this is a tough week 1 game for Chicago. I'm going San Francisco. I expect Trey Lance to be ready. I expect Trey Lance to start. And this is a lower scoring win for the 49ers. Justin Fields, they didn't get him any help. It's so unfortunate. The 49ers are a really good roster. You've got extremely talented defensive players led by Nick Bosa. You're going to be re-signing Deebo Samuel. Everyone accepts it, or everyone expects it. We know he got his, trade. He wanted to be traded, whatever. I just think he wants a new contract, and that's kind of where they stand right now. They should get that done before the start of preseason, I would guess, and San Francisco goes on the road, East Coast. I think that's a 1 o'clock game, I want to say. They don't have the game times, but I think they get the win there. Next, we have Philadelphia at Detroit. I am going to go with Philadelphia in this one. Detroit, it's just so tough to pick them. I do like a few players on Detroit's roster. Jeff Okudah, Aiden Hutchinson, I think, are two really good young defensive building blocks. Jamison Williams will not be playing in this game. He'll still be recovering. That's their 11th overall pick, recovering from his injury. So, and then Jared Goff. It's tough. And then for, the Eagles, they've got two great receivers, A.J. Brown, the taller guy, and then also Devontae Smith, the young superstar Heisman winner receiver who had a really good rookie year last year with Philadelphia. So I've got Philadelphia winning their game. Next, we have New Orleans at Atlanta. And I think I'm going to have to pick New Orleans in this one. Yeah, Atlanta to me is tanking. Atlanta week 1 will more than likely, I would say 90% chance, be starting Marcus Mariota. I think they'll give Desmond Ridder a shot by like week 10 or week 11, but it's just not a good roster. You had the whole Calvin Ridley situation with New Orleans. It's going to be interesting. The receivers, you've got the Ohio State pair, along with Jarvis Landry. So some decent receivers there. And then Alvin Kamara, what's going on with his legal situation? It'll be an interesting thing to track throughout the offseason, but New Orleans gets a road win. Very easy start to their season. They're probably very happy they get Atlanta week 1. We've got a very nice divisional matchup. It's going to be Green Bay at Minnesota, and I am going to have Minnesota winning this game. Maybe a little bit of an upset. Aaron Rodgers, there's just not a lot of weapons around him. I'm not buying, the whole Christian Watson thing. They lose Devontae Adams. They end up trading for a first-round pick, but then they spend that first-round pick on 2 defensive players. Quay Walker to me was a horrible pick in the first round. I am not high on the Packers offseason, and Aaron Rodgers is only getting older, in my opinion, so I am going with Minnesota. They've got some nice receiver weapons. Justin Jefferson, the young superstar. Kirk Cousins is decent. And Minnesota, I've got Minnesota as an average team, but I think they get a big week 1 win. They are the home team. That'll be a nice NFC North matchup week 1. And then we do have, I think this is the Sunday night game, I want to say. It is going to be the Buccaneers and Tom Brady back from a 1-month retirement, I guess. They will be traveling to Jerry World in Dallas to take on the Cowboys. And I think the Cowboys beat them in week 1. That is kind of a bold prediction because the Cowboys lost Amari Cooper. We'll see how CeeDee Lamb replaces him. It's going to be Lamb and Michael Gallup mainly. The running back, Zeke. It's tough. We know Zeke is washed at this point, but I do like Dak Prescott. They are going to be at home against, a Buccaneers team that should be very good next year. It's just, at this point, I think Tom Brady is just never going to be washed. I genuinely think that. He could play till he's 50. Last year, he was second in the MVP voting. I don't know. At this point, it just makes no sense when you compare Tom Brady to every other player and the rate at which they aged. Compare him to Drew Brees, compare him to Peyton Manning. Drew Brees couldn't throw an 8-yard pass when he was 39. Peyton Manning fell off a cliff when they won the Super Bowl. He had 17 interceptions and 9 touchdowns, so I don't understand it. But guys, these are the week 1 overall predictions. These are the overall standings. It's just week 1, so there's not going to be many differences there, but I will continue to update this. And we do have a draft order. But yeah, this is pretty much the Bengals with the number 1 overall pick. I don't even know what that is based off of. But either way, guys, that's going to do it for this week 1 video. The next video will be my week 2 predictions. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.